Welcome back to the Owen Handy Show. I am sports editor George Bremer, and I'm here again with AU men's basketball coach Owen Handy and our special guest this week, Anderson University senior Micah Smith. Micah, welcome.
Welcome. Glad to be here.
Coach, another successful week for you. You go on the road, you get your first win of the year. Not as good a shooting night as your team's been useful, but was that kind of good to go through that and see that kind of adversity for this team?
Yeah, I think it was a game that felt better than it looked. We had a lot of foul trouble. We had traffic on the way up there, so we basically got off the bus after 6 hours, walked into the gym and played. Didn't make it. I mean, got open shots. I thought we worked and got open shots and didn't make them, and still put up 88 points. But I think what I was most pleased with, obviously, a young team going on the road. And definitely some adversity in terms of some of those things, and to figure out a way to win anyway, is a real positive. I think we were up 17 before they put the press on, and we had a couple guards foul out then, and so not everything went as planned, and yet we still figured out how to come out with a relatively comfortable win.
Yeah, Micah, this week you start HCAC play. With such a young roster, do you feel a responsibility at all to kind of talk to some of the young guys and tell them this is what it's going to be like, this is what you need to expect?
Yeah, actually in the last game, being our first road game, I told them if we want to be a good team, we got to win on the road. Coming in this year, we know that Mount was picked as the favorite, but we don't feel like that's any reason why we can't win. So we're going in with the expectation, come out with a victory, knowing that if we want to be a good team, we got to win on both our home court and the road.
Coach, do you change anything this week? Is it different at all with the conference season opening on Wednesday night on the road?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we don't want to send a message that something's changed in terms of how we prepare, in terms of how we, work to get ready for the game. Obviously, Mount St. Joe, I think, is going to be the best team we've played so far. Picked to win our league in the preseason coaches poll, and have a couple of really, really talented returning players in Joel Scudder and Femi Thompson. So I think it's a game we've got to be mentally prepared for. We've got to be building on what we've done well so far, learning what we need to take away from our last game about playing on the road, how to play on the road. I thought one of the things I was most pleased with on last week Tuesday was I thought our team, especially the guys on our bench who weren't playing, did a great job of creating their own energy. I thought we had a lot of noise, a lot of volume, a lot of encouragement going on. Watching on tape, it was actually kind of fun. There were a few times I caught myself watching our bench instead of watching the play on the floor. And so that's something we've got to make sure that we bring with us there as well.
Micah, from a player standpoint, how was the break? Being able to refresh yourself over, go home, see some family and friends, and do you come back with more energy now?
Yeah, I think we all enjoyed the break. It's really our first time having a break since season started in mid-October, so we're appreciative of it, but I'm sure we're all ready to get back and get things going.
How excited are you to get the conference season?
Oh, very excited. This being my last go-around, I'm very excited. We're all anxious to prove what we feel like we're very capable of doing, and that's winning the conference league.
Coach, how different is a two-game week compared to the one-game weeks that you've had thus far?
Different in the sense that with a one-game week, you've got more sustained practice time to work on things, to tweak things, to prepare. With Saturday, now this past Tuesday would have been different, but the first two we had a full week to hone in and get focused on how we wanted to play and what we wanted to execute for those games. I like the two-game week because of the rhythm it brings: practice, practice, play, practice, practice, play, practice, practice, play. So my hope would be that we get into a rhythm of how we prepare for each game, where we have a pretty tough practice on 2 days before the game, lift weights, and then come back with a little bit lighter practice, a prep practice, and then play. So I like anytime you can get into a rhythm with your preparation. I think that's a good thing. But on the other hand, to have a full week to prepare for opponents is certainly real positive too. So trading those two off, I don't know that one is particularly better than the other. I know that historically we've been a team that's played well when we've had a rhythm to how we're preparing.
I know we talked a little about Wednesday and being the conference opener, Mount St. Joe being a favorite, but how important is Saturday, too, with a home conference game against Earlham?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Earlham is a much improved team. Coach Polikoff's a good friend of mine, brought in a really good recruiting class. And they played a single-digit game with DePaul in their opener. Obviously, DePaul historically a very, very good Division III program. So, as a coaching staff, we've started to do our homework for that game. But we don't want the team looking out more than one day. But I think that it's definitely a week with two challenging games, to go on the road against a team that's predicted to win our league, and then to play at home against a team that's definitely an up-and-coming team. I think it should be a fun week for us.
Micah, offensively, this team's really played well. As a guard and a distributor, is it fun to have so many guys out there, so many options to go to?
Yes, it's great to be able to get the ball up and knowing that my teammate's going to finish the play. Doesn't bring more excitement to me than getting assists and a teammate score a basket. I love it.
And on the flip side of that, how important has this team's defense been to creating some of that offense?
Yeah, I told him that sometimes our offense isn't going to travel on the road, and we got to be known for a defensive-minded team. We feel like our defense should travel no matter where we play, and so for that to be a backbone to how we are as a team, I really think that helps us out on the offensive end when it's not going as well.
And Coach, along those lines, what's it going to take this week for it to be a successful week for the Ravens?
I think to me a successful week is going to be measured by how do we prepare for our opponents. When the ball goes up, if we're prepared, we're ready to play, and we can execute the things we want to execute, I think we're going to be pleased with the outcome of those games. But our focus can't be on what does the scoreboard say. Our focus has got to be on how do we prepare. Are we getting better? What are we doing to put ourselves in a position to win? I think, at Mount St. Joe, playing on the road against a team of their caliber, the goal is to be in the game with 5 minutes to play. Are we in a position that we can make a couple plays and win the game? I think anytime you're playing a really good team on the road, that's, you fight and you scratch and you claw to be at that point where with 5 minutes to play, you're right in the game. And then, then the moment takes over. Then you got to make plays, then you got to get stops, you got to rebound the basketball. So to me, coming off 5 days off, we've got to make sure that we should have energy, we should have legs. We've got to make sure that we're sharp, that we're prepared, that we're really ready to go over this 2-day preparation. If we do that, I think we're going to be happy with how the game goes.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach, and Micah for joining us, and everyone at home. The team will be home here on Saturday, 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
3 p.m. on Saturday here at OC Lewis Gymnasium. Thanks a lot, guys.
Good. Thanks, George.